Hello, welcome to another episode of Emotions. Today I'm going to be talking about pain, how to deal with emotional pain. We interact with different people in our life's journey, and many people do different things to us. Sometimes we overlook certain things. Sometimes we don't. Some things don't even register based on the gravity of what is done or the offender. But there are certain incidents that not only register but can leave a scar in our hearts. And this happens when these are done by people that we hold so dear, people who are very close to us, like our immediate family members, parents, children, spouses, siblings, or even best friends. So, how do you deal with pain? If you've ever heard the phrase, hurting people hurts others, it is very true. You see, when you have unprocessed pain and you think that by keeping it in your heart buried, you have dealt with it, what you don't realize is that that pain, that incident will continue to influence your decisions and actions towards people you love because you will be afraid of being hurt again. So you begin to act in a manner that you naturally would not act in. You will make decisions that you naturally would not have made if that painful incident did not happen. So the best thing to do with your pain is to face it, to process it, to deal with it, get past it, so that it doesn't affect every other important relationship in your life. So, how do you deal with emotional pain? Pain can be very delicate. There are certain incidents that, if opened up, can even threaten to mar you, to break you. So, how do you face these incidents? How do you deal with them? Sometimes there are issues from childhood that are not dealt with, and then other things that other people do, then get built on those unprocessed issues. So things that would normally not have caused such a deep mark in our hearts now leave a scar because there was a previous scar on that spot that had not healed. So it's like you're cutting the same place over and over again. Therefore, the best thing is you need to treat that scar, treat that wound. If you have a wound that is not healing properly, you need to open it up again, clean it properly, and then treat it. That's actually what also happens with emotional pain. You need to go back and revisit those buried incidents. You need to face it, you need to call them out. Call out your pain, call out your fear, call out that rejection, that feeling of not being good enough, that comparison, that fear of failure, that betrayal, that heartbreak. Call it out. Don't bury it. Don't act fine. Face it. Process it. You may have been, you may have had such childhood where you had to do a lot of things to be good enough. Probably you had to study hard, you had to do all of the right things. You couldn't live like a normal child. You couldn't do what every other person was doing because you needed to try so hard to be perfect just to be validated. And it was never good enough. Maybe you are that person that you did your best, but you were always being compared against someone else. Could be a sibling, a cousin, a friend, a neighbor, or even a stranger, but you were just always being compared. Your best just never cut it. You may have been brought low, turned down for doing the things that make you happy. You may have been told that you're not good enough. Maybe it was painful not being acknowledged, not being celebrated, even when you did something great, something grand. It may be not being seen. Everybody else seems more important than you. It may even be pain from not feeling like you earned, like you've done enough to earn your parents' love or their finance, their money. It's like When it's everybody else, the money is available. When it's you have to make sacrifices. And you're tired of being the sacrificial lamb. You just want to be that person for once who they are willing to go the extra mile for. It may be the betrayal from a friend you trusted, a friend you shared your secrets with, and yet, at the time that it mattered, you realize that you were never seen as the friend that you saw that person to be. Perhaps those who once called you sister or brother really never regarded you. It may be the pain from the loss of someone dear to you, someone you love so much, being taken away by death, and you're not able to allow yourself to love again. Sometimes this pain are caused by people, consciously or ignorantly. Sometimes they are caused by circumstances or life events. You fall in love with someone and then they gain admission and have to move away. It's a good thing that they got admission, but it also means you having to let go. And that can be painful, especially when the friendship never comes back to the way it used to be as a result of distance. They may have made new friends, easily replaced you, but it may not have come that easy for you. And you're afraid of loving again, of opening up again to friendship, to love, to trust. It may be pain from spiritual figures that you have confided in who take your sensitive information and use it as a sermon. And unfortunately, there may be people close to you who could identify that it is your story. Pain comes in different ways. When the people that we look up to protect us, to support us, to comfort us, to understand us, are the very people who turn around to hurt us, to break us. It can be really hard to open up to love again or to trust in that person. But it says, Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavily laden, and I will give you rest." See, that pain, you can let it go. That pain, face it, call it out. This is the pain that I feel. This is the incident that caused it. These are the incidents that triggered it. This is how I got here. Take that pain and then hand it over to Jesus and just say, "This is how I feel." Tell it to him the way it is. Have a conversation with him, because we do not have a high priest that has not been touched by the feelings of our infirmities. We have an high priest that felt what we feel, that walked where we walk, and that cares for us. He understands that pain. He understands rejection. He understands giving his best and yet it never being enough. He understands being betrayed by those he trusted. He understands being broken and rejected by those for whom he gave his best. He understands the pain of loss, loss of a friend, loss of a family member. And he can help you. He can heal your pain. He can make something beautiful even out of those unpleasant experiences. He can write a beautiful story from your pain. I know that when we are hurt, we want to hide our story. We want to keep it to ourselves. We don't want the world to know that we are carrying such baggage. But by sharing your pain, by letting it go, you are able to help others to heal their school too. The Bible says that we should comfort others with the comfort that we ourselves have been comforted. The pain, this is not to undermine your pain. No, it's deep. You know It's not easy, but you can. And if it feels overwhelming to do it alone, you can reach out to someone. It doesn't have to be someone close, it could be a neutral person who can just be there while you walk through this process so that you can get that healing. To you out there struggling with pain from rejection, betrayal, lack of trust, feeling insufficient, any form of pain at all, I just want to remind you that you are good enough. You deserve love, or else Christ would not have died. You deserve friendship. You deserve family. You deserve to be happy. And you deserve to have peace. So, till we meet again on emotions, I hope that you would find yourself in a better place by then.